Hello everyone, we're going to try and use After Effects to animate this emoji here. Don't know who made it, didn't put their name on there, but it's a nice Superman one. So I'm going to go to After Effects and just say New Project. You'll notice it says Untitled Project, not a good name for one, so let's save this into a folder I made under Vector Graphics called Emoji Animation. 18/12/17, use the date. Superman Emoji Animation, and then put your name at the end. Now we have to get the composition into After Effects in order to animate it. Now if you made it right, it's going to be 1920 by 1080. Now Control I or File Import will let me get to the emoji. What you want to make sure and change is how you import the emoji. Import as a composition, and it'll all be together in one composition. Now you'll notice this one is 1000 by 500, so it's not the right size, and we would need to rescale that and at a later date to get 1920 by 1080. Nice thing about this is we can see the individual layers and use them. Sometimes we just want to take a piece of one and a piece from another. But I'm going to go ahead and double click on the composition itself, and you can see these are the different layers and they're named. Excellent. But the background was white when it was drawn, so we're going to add a new layer, a solid that is white, so that we can put it underneath all the rest of them. And now we can take a look at these different layers. We can see the belt is on its own layer. Good. Take that off. The hair is also on its own layer, so we can animate that curl in front. And we've got the mouth all by itself. That'll be great, easy to animate. The cape is just one side, so we can't make the cape like ripple in the wind or anything, so that's going to be something we can't really do. Now we got the logo here is also kind of partly on one layer, partly on another. Let me turn off that one cape. Then we have the suit. So a lot was drawn on the suit layer, but we're just going to have to leave those all in place. We've got the right eye and the left eye, allowing us to blink or wink or squint fairly easily. And then we've got the one face. However, the nose is drawn on it. So we'll have to see if we do any color changes what that's going to do to us here. So let me turn them all back on. And let's start off with the eyes. We're going to make the eyes squint. I've got 30 seconds worth of animation time here. We can add or remove time easily. However, better to start with more and then just cut it down. So this is the work area bar, and I can go ahead and shorten that down to maybe 6 seconds to get us started. And I'm going to open up, meaning clicking on the little triangles next to the eye and finding the transform property. So all items have anchor points around which they would rotate, a position on the composition, a size, a scale, and how much rotation is there, as well as its opacity. So we can make things fade in and out by keyframe, not just with transitions. So I'm going to go ahead and keyframe, let's say, the scale of the right eye. And I'm going to then go forward 1 second and decrease the scale. Now, we could just make the whole thing. Notice that both of these are chained together. But I'm going to undo, Control Z, and I'm going to unlink the two so that I can just change the vertical scale. Now you'll notice that I've got that going downwards, so it's really scaling downwards towards the anchor point. So one of the things we can do is simply move it back up into position. So I'm just going to bring it back up here, and let's watch what that does. So kind of strange, isn't it? I'm going to undo all of that, Control Z. I'm going to change the anchor point so it will scale down around the anchor point. Now the way this works is you actually move these numbers and it moves the thing on the layer, and you want to get it so that anchor point is around the center. And then you can move it back to where it was before. So now if I keyframe the scale and unlink that, I can go forward 1 second and keyframe a squint. So let's go down to about, well, let's go down a little further, maybe 40 So I can type 40 in there. I want the same thing to happen with the other eye, so we'll need to do it over here. I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm also going to change the left eye's anchor point. So notice I'm having to open the transform, change where that is. I have to click and drag on these numbers, and then I can put the eye back in its original position. So now I can squint the left one. So keyframing the scale, unlink, and then go forward. Now I could try and get on that same point, but the keyframe jumper is going to put me exactly in the same spot, and I can do 40% on the vertical. Oh, see how they're both still linked together? Let me unlink that, and now type 40%. So it looks a little bit different. I'm going to maybe move the position up, or maybe it's the anchor point that if I do this. So we got to take a look here. A little bit different, but I've got the eyes now squinting. So let's go ahead and try something else on the next step.